So the sin is in the thought first. That's where everything begins, in the mind, in between the two temples. The things that we mumble under our breath that nobody else hears, that we think nobody else hears. But that recorder that's always recording, it hears everything. Everything. It don't miss a thing. So, the sin is in the thought first. Sin is in the thought first. Think about it. Process what it is I'm saying. Sin is in the thought first. So hell is going to be full of a bunch of fuckers that thought that they were going to heaven because all of those things that they thought about in their mind that they didn't speak out loud, that they thought nobody heard. God heard you, bitch. God knows your heart. And God knows all that shit that you was mumbling up under your breath about other beings that wasn't even your business. You know, it's gonna be a lot of y'all parents and a lot of a lot of y'all relatives and a bunch of you. Y'all gonna have a family reunion in that motherfucker. Y'all gonna have a family reunion here because you are hypocrites and you commit all these atrocities right here in between these two temples. You like to say, I don't judge. Can't nobody judge me but God. But you're running around judging everybody else and then lying and saying you don't judge. Judgment is a righteous thing. It's a way to protect ourselves from people that we feel like we have no business being around. People that we feel like are beneath us. But y'all like to lie and say, I don't be judging. Yes, you do. Most of you don't speak your judgments out loud. You write it in your journals or you go write it to the other people that be judging, that be lying about they don't judge. You know what I'm saying? God knows your heart and God knows all the things that you don't speak out loud also. So you bitches gonna have a soul train lying down in hell. Hell isn't an actual place. In my reality and what I understand, heaven and hell are states of being. And that's why so many of you are fucked up in the mind, because you lie to yourself within your own mind. So between these two temples right here, it's so much chaos and confusion going on. It's so much chaos and confusion going on. So that hell that's here us walking on earth, that's a mind that's full of chaos and just uncertainty and doubt and guilt and regret and fear and lying about judgment. Those are realms of hell. Those are realms of hell. So you ain't getting into heaven because, for one, you won't be truthful to yourself. You got to be truthful to yourself if you're trying to get through the pearly gates. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the sin is first in the thought. The sin is in the thought first. That's what I want to say. The sin is in the thought first. Yes, ain't getting into heaven. Because you bitches lie about everything. You lie about everything. You're just some liars. You're some goddamn liars, and the truth trying to come into you, but you keep slapping the fuck out of the truth and grabbing a hold of the lie. What can you possibly do with that? Religious one, righteous one, spiritual one. What can you do with the lie that's been keeping you fucked up for so long? You can't do nothing with it but stay in your realm of hell. If you want to get to heaven, baby, you're going to have to do a whole lot more better than what you've been doing. You're going to have to get a whole lot more better than what you're doing. Oh, and the ones that's really going to hell, the ones that like to say, I don't use that kind of language. So instead of them saying bitch, they'll want to say things like, oh, that bitch and that witch and that ooh, and things like ass. They'll say a whole nother word, and whore, they'll use another kind of word. Baby, God knows your heart. God knows your heart. So you can use any one of the alphabets that you want to make it seem like I don't speak that kind of language. I don't talk like that. I don't speak like that. But you are going to hell. You going to hell because you lied to yourself. Everything starts between these two motherfuckers right here. What word would y'all use it in the reference of them? Y'all would say a mother plucker. Yeah, God sent it. God writing that down. That bitch wanted to curse right there. They talking about mother plucker and blitch and witch. You going to hell, bitch. God writing all this shit down. You know, how y'all doing this Sunday anyway? Y'all pay some tithes to that lying ass preacher? You could have gave your own self them 10%, but that's a whole nother conversation. You the church, but you don't want nobody to tell you that you want somebody. But you hoes going to hell. The sin is in the thought first. Start telling the truth, motherfuckers. Start telling the truth so you can get out your goddamn way. Have a good Sunday.